Cyberbrainer is an online training platform designed to help individuals and teams learn the latest technologies and become certified professionals, producing a comprehensive learning experience.
Say, I'm going across to position business object, and in my position business object I may see so many different field names. The position ID, the job information relevant to that particular position business object. And next, I can also see all the related fields of that particular business objects. See over here. In the position business object, I see so many different fields over here which are native to the business object position. And I can also go to my related business object. And if I want some in, say, I have chosen position as my primary business object for my report. And now I want to get some value from my worker. Then I need to come to this particular business object position, and I need to find the linkage between my position business object and my worker business object. And let me show you that. See here. So the links from a position business object to a worker business object. We have 51 links. Alright, that is how this actually works, including the worker's position, incumbent information, manager information. All that is going to be available over here. Same way for managers and others as well. Clear on this? And you may ask me a question. Here you are seeing 51, but over here you see 0. There is a small crux to it. When we see LRVs, this will be made clearer. When we see LRVs, that is called as lookup related values. This particular information will be made a little bit more clearer for you. For now, just hold your horses. Alright, clear on this? Because currently there is no field which is actually linking between the two in perspective of a worker business object. But from a position business object. In the position data it has links which have already been established. That is how it works, so we will get to that when we go into LRVs. You will understand that better over there. Alright, clear on this? Can we pass or move on to the next most important topic, which is into reportings? And once you are clear on all the business objects, reporting is going to be more of a piece of cake for you. Alright, because this is the most important thing that you need to understand what exactly I mean by business object. The related business object and the data sources which I can possibly use to create my report. Alright. Now lookup related value. That is a type of a field which we have, a calculated field which we can possibly create. So we've seen about arithmetic calculations and everything. We also have a field type called as LRV, which is called as lookup related value. So I've not gone into that because I want to hold it up till I do a little bit of reporting. So then I will jump into that tomorrow because I want you to understand a little bit of crux of all the reportings before we get into that, because it's a little bit of an advanced topic. Okay, so once you get a hang of the related business object, then we will move into that LRV concept, because LRV is typically once you understand this particular structure. How do you pick from a worker business object? How would you pick the position level information? In a nutshell, that is what it is from a worker business object. How will you get the details of my position business object's relevant information? How do you actually get that particular stuff, just like joining in your relate, in your RDBMS terminology? What do you do by joining, and once you join in a join, outer join, or whatever joins you do? Based on that, you're going to pick some field level information. That's what LRV, that is, lookup return value. Sorry, related value. Okay. Alright, okay. Alright, so let's move on to what we have in the reporting. So possibly for today and tomorrow, we are going to be seeing reports, and this is the agenda. We are going to be seeing simple reports, standard custom reports, and we are not going to be seeing scheduling part because scheduling is a little bit advanced topics. I will only teach you the basics of scheduling. I'm not going to deep dive into scheduling and alerts. We will skip alerts for now, because that is again another advanced concept in the reportings, where you will schedule some alerts and you will hit some notifications and everything else. So I don't want to deep dive into alerts for now. I don't want to get into alerts, we'll be completely skipping that particular topic. Whereas scheduling reports will be looking at a grazing level, we'll be only grazing through. That will not be doing deep dive into reports because we may not be able to test that particular functionality over here in scheduling reports. So that's why I'm just going to be only grazing, and I will teach you the concepts as well, because it's very, very important and used very, very widely in a real-world business scenario. Now, first and foremost, like I said, reports are kind of. In any training sessions that have been part of so far, reports are always a breeze, I would say, because compared to all the other modules or other objects that we have seen, reporting is always enjoyable, and if you do like reporting, can definitely take up Workday reporting as your carrier as well. So there are so many advanced concepts in reporting as well. What we are seeing is only the foundation. On top of this, we have something called as Prism reportings, where you're going to do all the data cubes and kind of analytic stuff, and so much of stuff is available as well. So if you do have interest in reporting, or if you do have some prior knowledge of reporting tools and IAS tools like Tableau or Power BI or other stuff, and you do have probably an interest in reporting, definitely you can explore a lot in reporting, and you can do so much of stuff into reporting, and you can take it up as a carrier in Workday itself, because that's a good career actually. Because it's not going to involve a lot of functional configuration and everything. You're going to be scheduling and maintaining several reports, so that is a career opportunity that is also there on the workplace side of things. So that's another tidbit for you as well. Alright, so first up, what exactly a report is basically in Workday is just like what you see in Excel or any of the other HRT relevant tools. It's just, you're going to be displaying and pulling some information and presenting it to the business in a meaningful format so that you can have some business actions taken based on this. That is a whole point of building reports. That is number one purpose, and again, it is going to actually be used not only within the Workday system, but if I want to generate some data and send this particular report information to a third-party vendor as well, definitely I can use it as well. Say, for example, I may actually have a report build to send across payroll relevant information to my third-party payroll vendor, which could be like Ceridian ADP or any of the other PayClick or other payroll vendors which are available in the market. I can build a report and send it across to my third-party vendors as well, which is going to be useful for them to process your payroll or any other information as well. So that is the whole host of purposes of having my payroll tables, and the most important thing that you may have to notice, what is the information that I'm pulling from my report? Does it have all the values and meaningful values which are necessary to make a valuable business decision? That is number 1. Number 2, in any reporting standards, you need to ensure that you give information only that is required to the people who are required to see, and nothing more. What I mean by that is, you are supposed to give information only that the particular person has asked for, and you should also be careful enough not to expose any of the personal information of an employee to an unnecessary user, if that makes sense to you, because by reporting you can have access to a whole host of purposes. So you need to ensure that you have proper information and proper checks and balances in place so that not everybody is going to be viewing this report and, at the same time, people see only what they are on the report. So that is what I am going to do. So I am going to show you the report and the 2 major things that you need to note in a report. Alright. So you are going to need to deliver the report. So you are going to need to deliver the report. So you are going to need to deliver the report. So you are going to need to deliver the report. So you are going to need to deliver the report, which is already available in my system, and I need not build any new reports at all. For example, we saw business object details. If you see, this is a report. Why I am just picking this example is, this is just a report which we just saw right now. This is a report, definition by itself. And this is after all. This is nothing but a delivered Workday standard report. And all of these that you see over here translate business process definitions, all business process definitions for business objects. All of these are report definitions only. They are all report definitions only. And in the future, if you want to actually copy them, you can do that as well. Which means this particular business object details report for my report definition. If I have the access to view this here, I think because it is a training tenant, I do not have the access to view it. Let me pick something different over here. Let me pick all employees report. Let me see if I have a standard employee employment history reporting overviews over here. Alright, this is a custom report over here. Let me pick all employees. We had a report specifically called as all employees report. This employee. Yeah, this should be good. All active employees. Let me just pick this all active employees report. Alright. So if you see this particular report, this is again a custom report. People have created a lot of custom reports over here. So let me just pick this up. I have been trying to pick a standard report over here. I was trying to pick a standard report, but I have so many reports which have already been created. So it just takes a lot of time for us to do it. Okay, this is just a standard report, but it seems to be quite complex. Complex. Okay, so let me just pick something like Carol Lee over here. So this is just a sample example. Alright, so this is called Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll just try to create one standard report for you, and then I'll just pick one standard, because there are, like so many reports which are changed over here. So I'm not able to pick one standard report over here which is already available, because we have certain reports which is called as standard reports for employees, all of that which is delivered. I'm not able to pick one over here. I will just pick something like standard reports and then see. Alright, so let me pick the standard report for worker data. Okay, let me pick. Find workers. I didn't want to get into that because it's going to take some time for me to find that. Okay, so if you see this particular report, just forget the layout and everything, because layout and everything that you can definitely look at this. Find workers is something which we have already seen in the first session. If I want to find some worker, I will be using this particular find workers standard report definition, and this is a common report which is available for everybody. I was looking at some other report like an employee, all employees, or something like a report. Let's just ignore that. Move on to this. So we have a report, which is a standard report, called find workers. Basically, if I want to find a worker, I would rather use this particular report over here which is available, and I can have some search criteria and everything. And from time to time Workday provides updates for this particular report, and this is our daily work report, which means I need not make any changes over here in this particular report. And it is already available to all the workers and the securities that I already have built in my system, which means it's available to every employee unless and otherwise. I'm going to make some changes in my security structure. If I want to hide this to certain people like contingent workers should not be able to see this particular report, I can possibly make some changes over here. That is number 1. And number 2, the most important thing about a standard report is I can copy this particular standard report as a custom report of mine and make relevant changes over there, which means I'm going to be copying a standard report and I'm going to create a new custom report as a clone of my standard report, which is called as find workers. It doesn't mean that my previous report definition is going to get deleted. That standard report is going to be available in the original purpose that it was available for. On top of that, I'm going to be creating another report as a clone of my find reports, standard report. So see, I put it as Arian find workers. So I'm just going to be creating, and it's going to be a clone of my report which I have already created. Alright? And it's going to retain all the fields, the search criteria, and everything else that I already have. First up, the data source is going to be workers for HCM reporting. So it's going to contain all the workers, which is single latest row per worker, be it a regular active worker or a terminated worker. Who's going to get the last row? As on my term date? So it's contain all the information and then further filtering. I filter only my active workers in this particular report. So find workers report. It's a standard report and it is going to contain only my active workers in the organization. Next, if I move on to all the fields that I have over here, I have, like